The first time I saw a human smile, it was while he was standing knee-deep in the ashes of my battalion, and that was when I understood we had already lost the war. I am Carvel of the 7th Astral Legion, a veteran of 300 planetary suppressions, bred for obedience, conditioned for logic, and engineered to feel only what my superiors allowed. We came to Sol believing Earth would be like the others, loud, divided, fragile. The High Conclave assured us humans would fold once their satellites fell and their skies burned. We believed them. We always did. But as our warships darkened Earth, sun, and cities screamed beneath orbital fire, something old and terrible woke inside the humans, and none of us were prepared for it. The invasion began cleanly, too cleanly. Our fleet carved through Earth's defenses in hours, slicing orbital platforms and drowning their networks in static. From above, the planet looked beautiful, still blue, still alive. Below, panic bloomed like a cancer. We deployed peacekeeper units into major population centers, armed with suppression fields and neuropacifiers. The humans were supposed to submit. Instead, they stared at us with eyes full of grief and fury, and I felt something unfamiliar tighten in my chest. That was only the beginning. My assignment was Ground Sector 9, once called Chicago. Skyscrapers lay broken like snap bones, streets choked with smoke and screams. Our scanners detected scattered human resistance, untrained, poorly armed. Laughable, we advanced in perfect formation. Then the ground erupted. Humans burst from hidden tunnels, wielding weapons older than their own space age, screaming not in fear, but in rage. They charged us. They charged us knowing they would die, and they took my soldiers with them. What I saw next changed everything. Among the chaos, I encountered a human woman pinned beneath rubble, her leg crushed, her breath shallow. Our protocols demanded termination. Instead, she looked up at me and whispered a single word through bloodied lips. Please. Her voice trembled, not with terror, but defiance. I hesitated. In that moment, another human detonated an explosive at my flank, killing 3 of my unit and tearing my armor open. Pain flooded me, real pain. As I fell, the woman dragged herself toward me, pressing something into my hand. A photograph. A family. Her family. Then she died, and the memory burned itself into me. Days turned into weeks. Human resistance did not diminish. It evolved. They learned our tactics, hacked our drones, turned our own machines against us. Every victory cost us tenfold. Humans sang as they fought. They laughed in the face of annihilation. They mourned their dead for seconds, then picked up weapons slick with blood and kept going. My superiors called it emotional instability. I called it terrifying. Each night, I replayed the woman's final act, trying to understand why she gave me something she would never see again. None of it made sense. Until it did. Halfway through the campaign, I was summoned to the orbital command station for recalibration. The Conclave feared contamination. They were right to. As I lay restrained, memories flooded my mind, not mine, but Earth's. Human history streamed through my consciousness. Wars, genocides, revolutions, sacrifices. Parents shielding children from gunfire. Soldiers throwing themselves on grenades. Entire cities choosing extinction over surrender. The truth struck like a blade. Humans were not chaotic. They were forged. Forged by endless loss. Forged by surviving themselves. And that was when the real horror revealed itself. The Conclave had known. Earth was marked centuries ago as a forged world, a classification reserved for species that grow stronger through suffering. The invasion was never about conquest. It was a test, a way to measure if humanity could be broken, or if they would become something far worse. We were never meant to win. We were meant to provoke, to sharpen them. Rage flooded me. not the cold anger of my kind, but something hot, human. I broke free from my restraints, slaughtered the technicians, and fled back to the surface. Because if the conclave succeeded, the galaxy would burn. I found the human resistance leader in the ruins of a hospital. His name was Marcus Hale, a former teacher turned commander. He aimed a rifle at my head and did not hesitate. I dropped my weapon and showed him the photograph. His breath caught. "She was my sister," he whispered. The war paused between us, fragile as glass. I told him everything, about the Forge worlds, about the test, about what humanity would become if pushed further. He listened in silence, then asked the question that shattered me. "Is it already too late?" Together, we planned the impossible. We would strike the command station and broadcast the truth to humans and aliens alike. The assault was suicide. Humans volunteered anyway. I watched them write final messages, laugh, cry, and move forward without fear. As we breached the station, conclave fleets descended. The battle was chaos incarnate. Marcus was mortally wounded protecting the transmitter. With his last breath, he smiled. "Make it count," he said. And I did. The broadcast echoed across the stars. Every suppressed species saw it. Every empire heard humanity's roar. Humans fighting not to conquer, but to protect each other. To choose hope in the face of extinction. The conclave ordered Earth's annihilation. But they were too late. Allied systems revolted. Fleets turned. The galaxy ignited, not in fire, but rebellion. Humanity had passed the test by refusing to surrender their soul. And the universe would never forget it. The war ended months later. Earth stood scarred but alive. I remained behind as an ambassador, though some humans still flinch when they see my armor. I do not blame them. I visit the memorials often. I keep the photograph with me, its edges worn smooth. I am no longer certain who I am, alien soldier or something else entirely. But when I hear children laughing among the ruins, I feel something close to peace. The humans ask me sometimes what frightened me most about them. I tell them the truth. It wasn't their weapons or their fury or their refusal to die. It was their love. A force so violent it could break empires. A force that shattered me, rewrote me, and saved the galaxy. And as I stand beneath Earth's sky, watching it heal, I know one thing with absolute certainty. Never make humanity suffer for sport, because they will survive it and become something even the stars fear.